yesterday that a good way to save money would be to cancel some of Musk's contracts. How seriously are you considering that?
Well, we'll take a look at everything. I look at everything. He's got a lot of money. He gets a lot of subsidy. So we'll take a look at that. Only if it's fair. Only if it's fair for him and for the country. I would certainly think about a deal, but it has to be fair.
Do you have any concerns about his drug use when he was working for you?
I don't want to comment on his drug use. I don't know. I don't know what his status is. I read an article in the New York Times. I thought it was, frankly, it sounded very unfair to me.
You said earlier today that Mr. Musk had a problem. What did you mean by that? And did you misjudge him?
I don't want to talk about problems. I think that I think the United States had problems.
What are you going to do about the Tesla? Are you going to keep it, or are you going to...
I haven't thought about it.
Do you have any plans to contact...
I mean, I hope he does well with Tesla.
Do you have any plans to speak with Mr. Musk? This was one of your closest advisors.
Yeah, no, I don't have any plans. Somebody made a mistake. A lot of reporters have been calling me. I didn't call any reporter. A lot of reporters say ask me the same question. No, I don't. I'm not even thinking about that.
Would you consider reopening investigations into his companies? There are a bunch of investigations.
I didn't know that they had any. They had them. I would just let them speak for themselves. I had no idea. Excuse me. I have no idea whether or not they had investigations.
What's your view on Elon Musk as of today? I mean, have you heard from him at all?
Honestly, I've been so busy working on China, working on Russia, working on Iran, working on so many that I'm not thinking about Elon. You know, I just wish him well.
Mr. President,
on Mr. Musk's contracts, do you feel like the U.S. can survive without them? Obviously, you can shift a lot when it comes to defense and space, and that relationship has been important for quite some time.
Yeah, they can. Sure. The U.S. can survive without almost anybody, except me.
President, on the one big beautiful bill, so your critics, often your critics...
I don't have too many critics because, you know, honestly, I don't know of anybody that's going to vote against it. Maybe Rand Paul or somebody, but, you know, they always vote against it. But I actually think that over the last 24 hours, it's even solidified. We have tremendous support on the bill.
Looking at Tesla stock, though, it seems investors are pretty excited to have Elon Musk back at the helm, and that's probably for the better. If you're a U.S. taxpayer hoping that Doge was going to find lots of savings that could be reinvested, you were sadly mistaken, and unfortunately, those are unlikely to materialize. But the president, like most other things, will quickly move on from this and get back to the business of governing, we hope.
Yeah, we're not surprised. Maybe surprised it didn't happen, the fallout didn't happen sooner, but felt like it was inevitable. Disappointing for sure, but not super surprised.
Sure, yeah. I thought it was just a matter of time before it happened, unfortunately, just based on their personalities. But yeah, disappointing.
You know, I think the chaos that this creates is very worrisome, and the problem I see is that we're getting used to the chaos. We're not seeing the chaos of this administration as a problem anymore.
I think obviously it's just ridiculous. I mean, essentially it's the most powerful man on earth was using the richest one like a pet, and now they're arguing it's absolutely ridiculous. I think it doesn't give a proper rightful image of the United States.
Well, someone like Musk is really interesting because he also has an independent power base, right? He's independently wealthy, he's independently very powerful, but obviously his power within that political structure was very reliant on his relationship with Donald Trump. So what we've actually seen in the past 24 hours is the culmination of a longer decoupling of the two men. So I think, you know, it's been quite obvious now for several weeks that Musk's political project, such as it was, has been having less and less traction within the Trump sphere. So if you think about those very early days where so many headlines were made by the activities of Doge, and it was made by the various things that were being shut down and the various, you know, often illegal actions or seemingly illegal actions that Doge was taking. We haven't heard much of that in the past few weeks. So what you've maybe been seeing is different actors, different ideas asserting themselves and pushing Musk slightly to one side. And obviously what we've seen now is potentially the culmination of that, this very public falling out. But it's not really a surprise. I think if you've been watching, you would have seen it coming.
偷偷告诉大家，我最近发现了新法宝 Royal Face 逆时奇迹系列，它有活肤露、全效精华，还有精华霜。尤其我皮肤比较偏干，所以我非常的注重保湿。保湿做得好，肌肤自然烹润。提亮肤色更年轻，抚平皱纹超有感，而且气色变好。用心保养，每天都更美丽。美吧。